These sandpipers are Arctic breeders. They nest across the Canadian Arctic, and they come down to our coastal areas to rest and refuel during migration.
They only weigh about 20 grams, which is, it's pretty darn small. And they need about almost 20 more grams to complete their journeys to the wintering grounds.
They're going to stay on our mud flats, sand flats, salt marsh habitats. Individuals will stay about 2 to 3 weeks, and in that time they're going to double their body weight so they can fuel the next leg of their migration, which is over the Atlantic Ocean down straight to South America.
We were very interested in understanding their local movements once they come into our area for stopover on migration. We want to see exactly where they're going to feed and where they're going to roost.
This new technology, nanotags, is a telemetry unit that we can put attached to a bird, and we can track the bird throughout its entire time in Maine. Along with the tags, we have these receiver towers. So these receiver towers can track the birds 24/7. They're automated.
What we have here is our tower with a mast, and we have 3 antennas. Each of them is connected to a coaxial cable, which goes into this unit here. And then there are 3 separate receivers, one for each antenna, and they are connected to this small computer, which has a special software.
It's the first time we've applied this type of tracking technology to shorebirds. A new discovery with this tracking study is we have found out that the birds that are arriving and feeding in down East Maine are leaving directly from that area to fly 3 to 5 days nonstop to Suriname and Brazil.
Not only can they fly that distance, but the fact that they're not stopping and resting and refueling, and that they are able to break down proteins to hydrate themselves, to catabolize the lipids, to fuel it, and they can do it in a matter of days. Well, we know most shorebird species are in a decline throughout North America. So one thing in Maine, what we want to do, when the birds are in our state, they're our responsibility. So we want to make sure that our habitats are meeting the needs of these shorebirds. Are our birds declining at a faster rate than they are in other areas? Or are Maine birds not declining and remaining fairly stable? That would be good information for us to know if, our protection initiatives are working.
This is a really prime location right here, because when you look out over to the estuary, we have some small islands where the associated rocky ledges are really important for roosting habitat.
We don't know what's going to happen then if those areas no longer supply the food and the rest that they need. The work really has been a watershed opportunity to take a lot of our original questions that we had going on, looking at how animals regulate their energy demand during migration. We're now able to couple that with movement and behavioral options. It really helps policymakers develop better, more effective programs to direct their resources. In other words, if they realize that the key bottleneck in an animal's annual cycle is not under their direct purview, they have to start collaborating with other countries or other agencies to ensure that something's being done at that other time of the year and that other location. So it's really critical to build those bridges and span those barriers that our birds don't see in the first place. And so I think that understanding these connections is really pivotal to understanding the mechanisms.